bigger impact on everything that goes on in your life than you've been led to believe. If you're ever the kind of person who's looked for a car, and as soon as you start looking for a car, you notice that car on the roads everywhere around you. You may have a bit of an understanding of what I'm going to talk about today, but that's the action of our reticular activating system, our RAS, as I'll call it for today, just to keep things easier. But that's a part of your mind that is always looking to prove you right based on the things you're constantly thinking about. And so, where does this play in when it comes to health? My journey, 20 years post MS diagnosis, and there was a phase of my life where my entire focus was on my illness, was on the condition that I was dealing with, was on the troubles that I was having. And so, when you're constantly focusing on something, this part of your mind, this RAS, is looking to provide evidence to show you that what you're thinking about is accurate. So, what happened when I was constantly thinking about being sick and about how frustrating it is and the challenges and the struggles? More and more struggles started showing up for me. And that's not to say that there wasn't something on a biochemical level going on in my body. It's not to say that I wasn't dealing with external factors as well. But the internal component is something that's really cool because it's something that we have control over. It's the one factor in life that you can take a look at it and say, okay, awesome. What can I do? And when it comes to your thoughts have a much bigger impact on your health, on your current situation, on your finances, on your relationships, on your living situations, on so many more things than we give them credit for. And the order of things that I've been taught many times, and it's easy to remember, your thoughts create your feelings create your actions, and your actions create your results. So if we look at things in that order, a lot of people will look at the current results that they're in and they're like, I just need to change my results. Where it's what we actually need to do is go upstream there. Because if you think about someone, here's an example that's pretty easy for people to relate to. But if you think of someone who's been dealing with crappy relationship after crappy relationship after crappy relationship, and their whole focus is on the crappy relationship, when you allow that to dictate your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions, this is where we create crappy relationships over and over again. Everything we do, the way we do one thing is the way we do everything. And ultimately, we will stay in the same cycle and loop through things over and over and over again until we catch it consciously and interrupt it. Because from a perspective of our unconscious mind and our conscious mind, we basically have two minds. Our conscious mind is like this small little thing that just responds to our my goodness, I'm blanking. Senses. So what we see, what we hear, what we feel, what we taste, and what we smell. And so our conscious mind is just responding to these things, but our unconscious mind takes what we get from these things and places meaning on it. This is why people can go to the same event, can go through the exactly the same circumstance and all have different interpretations of it. It's not because it was a different circumstance for the different people that were there. It's because their unconscious mind is putting a different meaning on it. So we imagine the person who's been dealing with crappy relationships. And so, what are their thoughts around that? There are no good men or women. I'm just not pretty enough. I'm just not smart enough. I'm boring. Nobody likes me. All of these negative thoughts can come if you're focusing on the crappy situation that you're in. What are the feelings that are associated with I'm not pretty enough? There are no good men. All of these negative thoughts lead to negative feelings. So that's going to be the feelings of unworthy, the feelings of not being good enough, the feelings of guilt, shame, disappointment in self. There's so many feelings that can come from this, but what actions are going to come from those feelings? And this is why that pattern's just going to keep repeating itself and cycling over and over again. And so this is just an example, but the same example can be tied to everything. Your thoughts create your feelings create your actions, and your actions create your results. Imagine you're a parent who's frustrated. I've seen this recently, this is why I'm bringing this up, but a parent who's frustrated because her kids are a pain in the butt to get on the bus in the morning to get ready for school. They're fighting with each other, they're not cooperating, they're staying in bed longer, they're just making things really challenging. And I had a client who came into me, and this was a big one of her complaints. And when we focused on her from an energetic perspective of how she was showing up into the world, rather than focusing on the outcome, rather than focusing on the crappy relationships or the frustration with her children, she focused on what she was thinking about, her feelings and her actions. And the next time we saw each other, she said, "It was crazy. Like my kids were so much better behaved yesterday. I don't even know what's going on. You didn't even work with them." And it's like sometimes you don't have to change the situation, you have to change the person and help them see how when they show up as a different person, they will attract different things into their life. And so if you're in a situation right now, maybe it's your health, maybe it's your career, maybe it's relationships. If you're in a situation right now where you've been hanging out in this, my situation sucks, this is frustrating, this is awful to deal with, how can you start to change your thoughts? How can you think about different things? One of the mantras that I throw around all of the time with my health clients, and I just leave it as a suggestion, and you can use it as well if it resonates with you. But if not, create your own. Find something that's empowering for you. The one that I share with you, every day my life is getting better and better. Every day my health is getting better and better. Every day I'm getting stronger and stronger. And when you focus on things like this, like I said, our unconscious mind controls 95% of what we do on a daily basis. You don't have to tell your heart to beat every time it beats. You don't have to tell your lungs to breathe every time you breathe. Can you imagine the mental calories that would be involved in having to do that all the time? You don't have to do that because your unconscious mind does that for you. But if we can get our unconscious mind focusing on getting healthier, it can create some different things in your system as well in terms of that. And this helps us let go of a lot of the things. I talked to a woman today who we haven't talked in about 7 months. And when we talked before, she was frustrated, going through the process of being diagnosed with MS or not sure if it was MS that she was dealing with. And there was a lot of uncertainty and there was a lot of fear, which is often what can happen, understandably so, when there's health challenges or there's some diagnosis or you're being dismissed and feeling ignored. There can be fear around that. But if we focus on the fear and focus on what it could be and focus on like all of the crappy things that are going on, it's like looking for a car and seeing that car everywhere. You're going to see more crappy things around you. So, what if you shifted that to every day I'm getting healthier and healthier? Even if you're in the process of of getting a diagnosis or going through this journey, how can it hurt to start getting your unconscious mind working with you? Anyways, this woman that I talked to today, haven't talked to her since I think January of this year. And we got on the phone and she's like, all of the symptoms that we talked about in January are gone. And she's feeling amazing. Yes, there can be other ones that pop up at times. And it's like, okay, so what is the body trying to tell me? What's the message that I need to hear? What's the lesson in this? Because symptoms aren't your body like trying to hurt you or trying to wear you down or beat you up. Symptoms are your body trying to tell you that something's not right and something needs your support. And so when we can learn to listen, it's very powerful and it just gives you back so much more personal power. When I went through my MS experience, there were many years where I didn't know this stuff. So I did go the medical route at first, and I got to the point where I realized I'd been waiting for this knight in shining armor to come and rescue me for a long time. And if change was going to happen, it was on me. And the beautiful part is that there are changes that you can make that aren't as much of a burden as they seem. Start changing the way you think about things. Just small changes start there. And if you'd like support, I'm opening the doors soon, but I currently have a priority waitlist available for Rewrite Your MS Story. This is a big part of the journey I love to help people with because they can just, when you can understand how staying in that place of fear is not serving you when it comes to moving towards the health that you want, and make some changes like in the wiring in your thoughts and in the process you go through, pretty cool things happen. There's no side effects from changing your thinking. There's things get better, like the woman I talked to today, her energy is better. She doesn't have the weakness in her leg that she used to have, and it's like all that we've changed, she made did make some nutrition changes, did make some lifestyle changes, but a lot of it is change the way you think about things. And the things when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. I don't remember who that saying is by, but it's beautiful. So there is a link in the description of this post if you would like to sign up for the priority waitlist for Rewrite Your MS Story. That's opening soon. I am going to send more really cool bonuses to people who sign up for the priority list as well. And if you would like to book a free screening with me, that's also available anytime. Send me a DM for that. So hopefully you enjoy the rest of your day. What's one thought you could change or shift today? Try it and let me know what shows up for you. Let me know how things change. It's not going to happen overnight. You are going to catch yourself at times going back into old patterns, but the more times that you can think, no, every day I'm getting healthier and healthier. Take a breath when something comes up for you. Every day I'm getting healthier and healthier. You can do this. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will talk